Cheers. Brew day today. Again, it's going to be a little bit different today. Something I don't do very often, but I have done it before. And some people haven't seen it, so I'll just quickly show you. To do with Good Beer Week, we just got through Good Beer Week here in Melbourne. Whew. It was a big one. Gab's Great Australian Beer Spectacular, and one of the other events I went to was System Wars, Grain and Grape hold System Wars, which is our local homebrew supply shop. Usually they have it in the shop out the back. This year they had it at Two Birds Brewery up the road. Two Birds Brewery, good brewery. Get up there and try their beers if you haven't tried them before. And System Wars, they probably have 6 or 7, I can't remember, I'm not sure I counted them this year, different systems, all grain, Rims, Herms, the Brewmeister, Brew in the Bag, like single vessel, another commercial style, which I'll show you later. Anyway, they all brew up a batch of beer. Now the way they do this is they have a wheel, like a chocolate wheel or a raffle wheel, that they spin, and that just determines what grain they're going to get. There's all different sorts of grain, and then later on they spin it again and it determines which style of hops they're going to get, and they've got to make a beer from it. In a month or two we'll go back and we'll taste it, and probably have a few too many. Last year I ended up with a new baby after it. But anyway, while we were there, the brewery themselves did a batch in their system, Two Birds, and I've got a batch of that here because they put it in no-chill cubes, and so I decided to grab one since I was there for the brew day, and I'm going to brew up that now. The first thing I do for my no-chill when I do it is there's no point leaving it at room temperature unless your room temperature is perfect for fermentation. I leave my cube in a fermenter fridge in the bottom until it comes to the right temperature. I set it at 18 degrees, 19 degrees, and that gets the cube to the right temperature, so I can pitch it straight, put it straight in the fermenter, give it a stir, and whack the yeast in. Hope it's not too dark. So at the moment in my fridge, everything's covered in t-shirts because I use a light globe, a halogen light globe, to heat the fridge. I don't like getting even onto the starters, and then I try and keep light off them. This is a starter I have coming, 2 litre yeast starter for a lager I'm doing. I only put that in yesterday, or last night actually, so it's probably only been in there 12 hours. It's starting to get there. But just a reminder, when you're doing your lager yeast starters, you don't do them at lager temperatures. Do them at the 65F or your 18 degrees Celsius, and that'll get your yeast propagating. But under there, down here, is the cube. I'll just pull it out. So there's the cube there. It holds roughly 17 litres. People might recognise the Grain and Grape labels they used. Two Birds Red Ale, brewed with Gladfield malts from New Zealand, and New Zealand Cascade as well. But we won't hold that against it. We'll brew it up and see how it goes. So the first thing you do, of course, is sanitise your fermenters. This had sanitizer, I actually sat it in there last night, so it should be perfect. So there's the fermenter ready to go. Just undo your cube, of course. Pour it in. Should have said I did sanitise the top of around the top of the lid of the cube. Now that splashing is good for it because it aerates it. Now this particular recipe, they recommend to fill it up with another 3 litres, top it up with just plain water, and that'll get it around 1048, which should get you around a 5% beer. Tap water in Australia is fine. You can boil and chill if you think You want to. 3 litres. For a volume up to 20. So once you've done that, I'll give it another aerate. That's with a sanitised whisk. You can aerate however you like. I haven't got my oxygen tank thing and everything sanitised at the moment, so a whisk will do. As I said, pouring it in gives a bit of oxygen into it as well. They recommend US04 as one of the yeast styles they said that you could use, or Nottingham. There's another one I can't quite recall, the Y yeast version. But I had these in the fridge, so these will do me. You don't really need 2, but I'm getting rid of it because it's been sitting around in the fridge. It's a little bit old. Sanitise your scissors, whatever. You can rehydrate or whatever you want to do. I'm just dumping it in today. So once your yeast is in, just do it up. And that's it. That's all it takes. So there she is. You saw that? That was like under 5 minutes. It is one of the benefits of no chill. Now she's wrapped up and protected from the light. So that's it. Simple as 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, and you got a batch from your no chill cube ready to ferment. I have, about 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago, recorded me brewing a no chill beer. I'll try and get that up as soon as possible. So now I'll just talk about the system wars a bit more and show you a couple of pictures and a few things that happened there. Okay, so this is where it happened. This is a picture of one side of the brewery. Two Birds Brewing, as I mentioned earlier. And here's a picture of the grain and hop wheel that they had to spin and pick their grains and hops. Things like best bitter grain and Belgian blonde, German hops, stuff like that. Now, this is one that I really wanted to mention. This bloke, Dan, his name is. I actually went to beer school with Dan. But he made a rim system, which is the one where the element actually touches the wort. And you can see there it's a big piece of stainless steel pipe. And what he's done is used an element like I use from Kmart in the actual rim system. So there's a picture there of it undone. You can see it there in his hand. Now, it's not easy to get a big piece of stainless pipe like that to make it like that, but you can easily use the same element in a Herms system as well. Another couple of pictures of different systems. I don't remember the name of this one. I'll put it down the bottom. It's a nice big system. You need a lot of space for it, but it's a great system. Throw up some pics from Gabs. And Don Peter and Cy had a few beers there. That was a great day. If you ever can do it, I advise you to do it. The great Australian beer spectacular. Okay, so that's it. Pretty quick and basic video. If you haven't tried no chill, it's worth giving it a go. I don't find it perfect for all beers, but most of them you can do no chill. Cheers.